And what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is today's VeChain analysis video. Now, a lot of coins have moved up since my last analysis with you guys. I covered Silica, ADA, as well as Ethereum, and I know that a lot of you guys have been digging the alts, and rightfully so. I mean, look at the move, right? But VeChain, I know, has already made a move. Now, the question is, does this have a little more oomph in it, right? So the first thing we're going to do is actually start off with that Mango dashboard. Okay, now I want to see how VeChain has been performing on the dashboard. So that USDT on the dashboard, we did get a long signal about 6 days ago. Okay, for those of you who caught it, and notice how this is not too long ago. So this flipped long quite recently. And well, for those of you who caught it, guys, you are up 31.79% already. Okay, so that is a good sign. Congratulations to whoever caught it. Okay, now VetBDC is also long. The dashboard gave us this long signal about 8 days ago. Now this one came in earlier. Okay, so that I believe was your kind of your first tell. Okay, so now this, if you caught this signal, you are up 37%. So okay, that is looking good on the dashboard. Now let's go ahead and well dissect this chart. Now for those of you who've been watching my videos, you guys know that I like starting off with my SNR levels. So let's go ahead and put those in. I'm sorry if my voice is a little off today. I'm a bit, I got a sore throat, so that's that. Okay, so let's just go ahead, plot this out. Okay, we got one there, and I believe we have one right around here. Beautiful. Okay, and I think we can draw one more here. I mean, this is kind of a bit more choppy than some of the other, you know, low MCAP, mid MCAP altcoins. But okay, I think this marks it for us. But the first thing that really pops out on my screen here, guys, is how, I mean, we closed a weekly candle today. Okay, we've closed that weekly candle today, and I want you to notice how well that has closed relative to that weekly level here at around, how do I even say that? 0.0061 cents. I hate it when it's like that, you know, like it's the denomination is so small that you can't even call it cents. You don't even know what to call it. We never deal with these numbers on a daily basis. But anyways, we've closed over this major level. But I think what really strikes me as bullish is how as soon as we closed, price did not even come down to retest this level that we closed over. And usually when I see that price has, picked up that bullish momentum before we can even get that retest, I am looking at that as a rather bullish sign. Okay, so I do believe that this is bullish for whoever did catch whatever semblance of a retest that was. Good for you, because you are currently up, around a good, 7% to the upside. So that was a good trade, right? For those of you who have been looking at the VeChain chart. But if I were to kind of just look at this chart and just play it off of, mere support and resistance, all I see here is that we broke out of a major level, okay, and the next point of resistance now is only sitting at 7,992. Okay, now this is going to be a major move if this does end up playing out. Now, like I said, if I was someone who was playing just SNR, I will actually be anticipating this move to play out to the upside. Now, what is to note here is that VeChain is looking rather bullish on the weekly time frame. Okay, the main thing that really kind of pops out of my screen here is that we took out a major point of resistance, which is now turned into support. Okay, now at the very least, if we don't get up to this region right here, I will be expecting VeChain to at least make it up to this region right around here at 7,331. Okay, now once again, from where price is at right now to that level, that's going to be a good 10% to the upside. Once again, guys, nothing to be scoffed at. But the one point to note here on this chart is that this looks like it has a little more way to go. Okay, so that is one thing to note. Now let's get on to those lower time frames to see what price could be doing there. Okay, so let's actually put on our Ichimoku cloud. By the way, for those of you who do not have access to the Ichimoku cloud, I mean, it's a free indicator on your list. You can just go ahead and, well, pull up the Ichimoku cloud, and the settings that we use here at Mango are the double settings. Okay, that's the 20, 60, 120, 30. So you can go ahead and pull that up, and you should be able to pull up this very Ichimoku cloud. Now, the first thing that sort of pops up on my screen, as well as the fact that we're trending on something much lower than the daily time frame, right? But the second sort of thing that really kind of stands out here, of course, I'm pattern queen, so it applies that this is the first thing I see. But it's this ascending triangle that broke to the upside, and I do believe that was your first tell. Okay, so which we have met the measured move for this ascending triangle. But what I want you to note here, now this is why I really like bets sometimes. I really like playing the VeChain chart. However, just note that I'm not in a position right now. But usually I'm always looking for a trade on VeChain. Now this is something I missed. I should have caught it, but I missed it. But I do believe that VeChain is one of the more generous charts when it comes to playing patterns on it. Okay, notice how we had this beautiful ascending triangle. We broke to the upside, got a beautiful retest, okay, of that horizontal that marked the uppermost region of the ascending triangle. Beautiful retest. You get your position on the retest, and then boom, you catch a really nice chunky trade to the upside. And this is why I really like VeChain, guys, because, well, you know what? A lot of coins are not generous with these plays. As soon as it breaks, it just breaks, and it does not give you a chance to actually get in. VeChain, however, does give you a chance, okay? It is a generous chart from, well, my backtesting and my experience playing VeChain, okay? Now, VeChain is one, and I believe the other one that is pretty damn generous is actually ChainLink. Okay, and ChainLink, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys know by now. I mean, you can catch some monster trades on that. But anyways, what is to note here is that this is also bullish on the daily time frame. Okay, this is clearly trending on something much lower. I'm just gonna kind of delete those lines there, make it a little bit more neat. Okay, so now let's get on to the 4-hour time frame. I want to see what VeChain is doing relative to 4-hour. Okay, now I brought up my 10 simple moving average, and I want you to notice how every test of that 10, ever since we broke out of the of that beautiful ascending triangle on the daily time frame, okay, every touch of the 10 simple moving average has been a buy opportunity, and I do believe we are still maintaining that 4-hour uptrend on the 10 simple. Okay, even here, as soon as we came back down, now this was a big sell-off, right? People were probably looking at this as a big sell-off. I mean, that was a 9%. That candle alone was a 9% candle. However, we did settle above the 10 simple moving average. Okay, so we settled above that, and well, now we actually made a rally to the upside. But now what I will be looking for, okay, for the more sort of immediate, time frame on VeChain, I want to see if price can actually start closing candles. I'm going to be looking for candle body closes over this region right here at 0.006. Okay, if we manage to take that out, and if we manage to have a candle body close over that, I will be looking for the next move all the way up to basically that weekly resistance I was telling you guys about at around 7349. Now, of course, this is the minimum. Okay, the actual level that I'm looking at is here at 7955. However, if we get rejected off of that and we keep putting in these lower highs, okay, I'll be looking for continuation to the downside, at which point I will be looking for how price reacts to this wick right here. You see this wick, it is sitting at 6074. If, guys, for whatever reason, we take that out, okay, I will be looking for a further continuation to the downside, possibly meeting this support right here at 5416. Okay, now this is going to be a major tell. Taking this wick out here is going to be a bearish sign. And if you're someone who is currently in a long position on VeChain, you do not want to be caught on the shit end of the stick on this one, right? You're giving away all those profits. You want to make sure that this is still trending up, especially if you're someone who kind of got a breakout buy as opposed to bought at a major level. Okay, so this is the wick I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking at, rather. Okay, so VeChain USDT, what is to note here, guys, is that it's looking good. Okay, it's still bullish, and if you just play it off the weekly time frame, that weekly time frame is telling me that it wants to go up more. Okay, so if I really had to place my bets anywhere, I think that this is going to break this area right here. I think we are going to start closing candles over 6778. But once again, guys, don't this is my opinion, of course. Okay, now I'm of course going to wait on that break. So just because I'm saying this doesn't mean you kind of front run anything here. Okay, it's for me, it's always an if this then that. If it breaks, will I take the trade? Okay, but I will be watching. So watch, observe, okay, and notice how price is reacting off of these major SNR levels, because that is going to be the first tell. Okay, but what is to note here, VeChain USDT is looking bullish. Okay, from the two sides, bearish and bullish, VeChain USDT is looking bullish. Brilliant. Now that is going to be the first sort of sign, right? That's what you want to see. If you're playing an altcoin, you want to see that it's bullish against USDT. Okay, now let's get on to VeChain BTC, because now when you're comparing VeChain BTC, you're basically comparing the two assets. You're comparing VeChain to Bitcoin, and you're trying to decide which one is the better hold. Is it VeChain or is it Bitcoin, right? But now since VeChain is trending up here, it's telling you that, hey, VeChain is the stronger hold. Okay, you are likely to make more if you place your bets on VeChain. That is what this chart is telling you. Of course, I've repeated this in my other analysis videos, and I'm going to keep repeating it because I feel like this concept is sort of lost on a lot of people, and rightfully so. It's not an intuitive concept, right? I mean, we don't have any such thing in the traditional space. Of course, except if you're playing Forex, wherein you are comparing one currency to another. This is quite like it, wherein VeChain is one currency and Bitcoin is one, and you want to pick the stronger one. Okay, now coming back onto the charts, I went off on a little spiel there. Now, once again, we're going to follow the same sort of process. I'm going to put in those beautiful horizontals. Okay, we have one right around here, one around here. Okay, I'm gonna mark everything closer to immediate price action. So these are like very, very tiny ranges, and notice how once again VeChain BTC also closed above this region right here. So this is likely to go ahead and test that next point of resistance at 74 sats. Okay, that's what I will be anticipating in the more short term. Okay, this is going to be, like I said, another 5-6% to the upside. However, that is also major weekly resistance, so be careful there. Okay, there may not be much of a move to be had, but to really determine whether or not there's more, we'll have to go and dissect those lower time frames. But before I get into those lower time frames, I'm actually noticing something on this chart. And if you guys haven't already, it's this W-like formation. Okay, this was a bullish pattern, and this did break to the upside. However, I want to check if we managed to meet that measured move. And we have not. The measured move will take VeChain all the way up to 77 sats. Okay, I'm going to mark this with a horizontal ray. That way you have a good visual. Okay, make that another color. So that is at 77 sats, which we have not met. We may likely come and test that region. Okay, I do believe there is a good chance that we could overshoot this resistance right here. Okay, come test it and may. Now, of course, this is a weekly chart, and we just opened a weekly candle, so we have quite a few days, not a few days, we have a good 6-7 days left on this candle, right? So anything can happen in this time. But what is to note here, guys, is that if VeChain BTC manages to close over that 73 sat region on the next weekly close, this is going to be a massive trade to the upside. Okay, I will, at the very least, I will be expecting a move all the way up to this region right around here, which is a 19% move to the upside. This is at around that 88 sat level. Okay, at the very least, that's the minimum. Okay, the maximum on this range is going to be all the way up here at around at around 98 sats. That is going to be a good 33% move to the upside. Okay, now of course there's some way to go. Okay, there's some way for VeChain to go before we actually get up there. But what I'm looking at right now is this region right here, the next point of resistance at 74 sats. But now let's get onto those lower time frames to see what price could be doing there. Is it giving us a signal that it wants to, you know, head higher? Let's move on to pull up that Ichimoku cloud. Now this is a good picture. I mean, this is clearly trending on something much lower than the daily time frame, but what I'm seeing here is that the cloud is red. However, price is over the cloud. We have a bullish TK cross that we just got. Okay, and look at how aggressively the 10 SMA and the 21 EMA are moving up. But another thing I'm noticing about the cloud is that it is tapering off. Okay, if this trend continues to the upside, I will be looking for that cloud to turn green, at which point that will be a good bullish signal on a much higher time frame. Okay, and yeah, I mean, this is looking good. On the daily, let's get into the 4-hour because I do believe it's trending here, and it is. Okay, so notice, and once again, just like how we had it on VeChain USDT, VeChain BTC is also, you know, every test of that 10 simple moving average has been a beautiful buy opportunity, right? And I believe that the same thing is going to apply here. As soon as we start taking out this region right here at around 71 sats, will we go ahead and meet the next point of resistance at 74 sats. Now, like I said, there's not much of a move to be had here because of, you know, I mean, it's not much of a range, right? From 71 all the way up to 74, that's only 3.46%. It's going to be an okay trade. Okay, it's going to be an okay trade. But as soon as we start closing candles over 74 cents, that's when I do believe that there will be a much more bullish move to be had on VeChain. I mean, personally, I wouldn't play a range this small, okay, when there are other altcoins out there that have bigger, better ranges ahead of them. Okay, so but I mean, this is still looking good, guys. And if we take this out on the 4-hour time frame, basically closing over the 71 sat region, chances are we're coming all the way up to 74 sats. But the one region to be watching out for is going to be the 74 sat region if you are someone who is currently in a long position. Okay, I think closing over that 74 sat region on the 12-hour or higher is going to have some massive bullish implications for VeChain. Okay, at that point, I think it will be propelled into a very high volatility zone. All right, now is there anything else on this chart? Yeah, I mean, of course, there's the other side of the trade, okay, which is the bearish side. And, well, if you are someone currently in a long position, especially if you're someone who, you know, kind of initiated a breakout buy, the one region that you do not want VeChain taking out, okay, especially if you bought anywhere in this zone right here, you do not want VeChain taking out these wicks right here. Okay, taking out these wicks on the 4-hour time frame will have bearish implications, and I do believe that VeChain will likely make a move to the downside, at which point I'll sort of be you know, expecting like an M-like formation actually form, especially if we start getting rejected on this region right here at around 71 sats. Okay, I'll be expecting that M-like formation to come to play, and at which point this is going to be, well, the neckline. Okay, this region right here at 65 sats is going to be the neckline, and this M-like formation may very well break to the downside, at which point the measured move for this, of course, is going to be coming all the way down here to 57 sats. But this is extremely premature, okay? So we always have to wait for some added confirmation, and right now this is not enough. Okay, this is not enough to anticipate a bearish move to the downside. We need to wait for more confirmation, and I feel like the first tell, okay, on this, the first thing that you should be looking for is whether or not VeChain BTC is putting in lower highs. So you're looking at these wicks right here, and if you keep seeing this descending sort of, you know, thing of wicks, that is more, that is bearish, okay, that is bearish price action. That combined with price closing consecutive candles underneath this region right here at 71 sats. Okay, that is going to be your first tell, at which point, if I was in a trade, I'll be expecting further continuation to the downside. Okay, but that's what you need to look out for, okay, on VeChain BTC. But right now, if you just kind of assess the weekly time frames on VeChain USDT as well as VeChain BTC, I think it's got a little more oomph in it. I think it could very well come up to test all its major points of resistance. Okay, now the major point of resistance here on VeChain BTC is at 74 sats, and on USDT, I mean, we have some way to go. This is sitting at 7338. Okay, that's what I'm going to be looking for VeChain with this, guys. Trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way, guys. Ciao.